and the webinar should run for about 20 minutes and basically will follow a similar procedure that I've used for other photo book topics. I'm going to look at deciding how to categorize your photos, choosing your theme and product type, adding your photos and text to the page, enhancing your page to get the best effects, and saving your own page styles. All right, so let's get started. Firstly, you need to decide in what order you wish to display your baby photos. And we've talked about this with other topics as well. So you may want to make a book about the baby's first year, or perhaps their first few years growing up. Or maybe you've only got a few photos of this particular celebration, or it might be a professional photo shoot of the baby when the baby was born. Whatever it is, there's various ways that you can put the book together. Generally, I'd suggest working in chronological order, as this usually makes the most sense for this type of book. But it's up to you. You can keep it simple, add photos randomly, whatever's easiest for you. It will make your life easier if you have a think about how you're going to organize the book before you get started. So make a plan. Once you've worked all that out, try to sort your photos into folders on your computer that make sense for this book. If you do this before you start, it's going to make the book making a lot easier. So I'll show you what I've done. I've created a folder on my desktop called Baby Photos, and I've categorized them into folders. I have got a folder called Dogs because I'm going to add some dog photos for those people who don't have babies and might have pets instead, who really are your babies. So that's fine to create a book about your animals as well. I also have a folder, so I have a newborn folder, and then I've got 2 months, 4 months, 5, 6, etc. I also have a photo which I'm going to use for the cover, and yeah, so I've sorted my photos out. That's the best thing to do. Next, we need to decide what we're going to create. So this is our download editor, and we're going to click Start a New Project. Hopefully you're all fairly familiar with it by now. Normally I do a classic photo book, but today, just for something different, I'm going to show you a lay flat book. And so with baby books, with our online editor, we do have a couple of baby themes available. They're not available in the download editor, so if you do want to work online to use those themes, you can. They're the baby boy, baby girl, and cherish themes. But I'm going to use the download editor today, and I'm going to choose Build Your Own Theme because I want to show you how easy it is to make your own page styles without having to use a theme if you want to. So let's choose Build Your Own. That'll mean my pages will be blank to start with, but I will have lots of page styles down the bottom to choose from. Size is up to you. For a baby book, depending on how many photos you have, you could do either maybe an 8 by 8 inch is a good one, or 11 by 8.5, or 12 by 12 if you've got a lot of photos. Today I'll just do an 11 by 8.5 inch, and we'll do a photo cover because I've got a nice photo to put on the cover. If you prefer, you could do a material cover and have hot stamping with the baby's name, or Kim's first year, or whatever you want to put there. But I think a photo of the child's nice. So I'm going to choose that. And I'm going to add my photos later, so we'll just click next for now. We'll call it Kim's first year, and we'll click create. And that's going to get my book open in a minute. The first thing to do once it opens is to start adding your photos. And if you want, you could add a few photos at a time, a few pages at a time, and then go back in and add backgrounds and scrapbook items, things like that, to enhance it. Or you can do a page at a time. I'll add a few pages just to show you what I'm talking about. Also, normally I would add my pictures to this picture list here, just by clicking on the plus sign, clicking computer, and then you can add your photos here. I'm going to show you another way to do it today. So if I go back to my File Explorer window, and you can do this on a Mac as well with Finder, I've got all my photos here and I can actually copy them directly to the page. So just drag that photo onto the page. So that's always an option, and you can just press Alt-Tab on your keyboard to switch between your screens. That way you can just, if you know what your photos are, you can just drag them onto the pages. So actually so for my cover, look, there are lots of page styles I can use at the bottom, but I'm just going to design this page myself because I haven't got exactly what I want. I really just want this photo to be nice and big on the front cover, somewhere up here, and make it a bit bigger. And I'm just going to add some text to the page. So we will click on, oops, I need to add a text box. So just click on this button here. Hopefully you can see where I'm pointing to add a text box. Whoops, I'm just making it smaller. We'll make it roughly that size. And we're going to type in Kim's first year. We need to pop it down here, but we're also going to, that's a bit small. So if you double click into it, drag your mouse to highlight all the text. We'll change our size to say 36-point font, and Arial's a bit boring. So let's try and choose a nice little font here, or something a bit more fancy. Let's go with brush script, say. And that's quite nice. The color black's a bit boring, so we'll click on this color button here and we can choose other to choose from a range of colors on the computer. If you click on define, let's just choose a nice pink color, say, for example, not being sexist or anything. We'll click OK and it's changed it to pink. We'll do some editing of the background later, but for now, let's just, we'll just put a few photos and some pages. Next, we'll go to pages 1 and 2. So as you can see with a lay flat book, page 1 is on your left and page 2 is on your right, which is different to a classic book. We'll go back to my photos, which I do by clicking Alt-Tab. And I'm going to add the newborn photo next. So we'll pop that on here. And across the way, we'll add the 2-month photo. So we'll just drag that on here. Now, we want these to be a bit bigger. I'm just trying to see down the bottom if we have a page style that might work for me. I really want one with both. Here we go. This one's good. So it's got a single page for both. This one, the photo's been chopped off, which we don't want to do. So we want to change the shape of the box. I'm going to make it a portrait shape. So just, okay, it's not changing the proportions, as you can see, which means that the constrain proportions button is on. So if I click on this here, underneath, you can see there's an option here to constrain proportions. If I take that off, and then I try to make it longer, it allows me to do that. And we'll just make sure we've got both kids here, because the whole point of this photo is to show their different sizes. That's better. And we want them to align, the photos to align at the top and bottom. So let's just bring it up a little bit. You should see how I get a green line at the top. That tells me they're aligned at the top. And we'll do the same at the bottom. And there's the green line telling me they're aligned at the bottom. So that's good. So we'll leave that. We'll come back and do some backgrounds and things in a minute. We'll do another page and we'll just go back to our photos. And I'm going to skip to 7 months because there's some photos here that are going to look good. I'm going to put these 4 photos on the page, and so we'll just drag them on. And I'll just have to move, I'll put that one here. Yep. And then we're going to add a page style. So I want one with 4 pictures per box. Sorry, 4 pictures per page. And I have seen one that I quite liked. Yeah, we'll use this one here. And see how it populates the page. It just puts the 4 photos. If I Oh, I think I put the same photo twice. Let's just double check that. I can't remember which one I didn't use, maybe that one. So we'll just drag that on top and it swaps it. Now I've used another one, that one twice. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. As long as we have, there we go, we've got the 4 photos now. If I want to swap the order of them, I can do that. You just click on one photo and hold it down, your mouse, and you'll get this little box with a green plus sign in the corner. I can just drag it to where I want it, and it swaps those 2 pictures now. Okay, and then we want to choose a photo for the opposite page. I am going to find just a nice, I'm going to use one from our 12-month book, this photo here. There we go. Sorry, yeah, 12-month photos. All right, and then we'll do another page where we'll add and one more photo from, oops, sorry, I'm forgetting what I'm doing. We'll just add this photo of the 12-month birthday. And then across the way, to show you about a little bit of how to do dogs, which is the same process, but you might have some dogs. These dogs belong to Clyde, who's one of our customer service team members. We'll pop a couple of his dog photos on there. Let's just edit this page to make it look how we want it. So we need something with 2 photos. There is that one. Oh, let's pop them both over there. We don't really want that, so let's undo. Let's try, there was another one with 2 photos somewhere. And I can't find it. All right, we'll use that one. What we'll do is we'll move the dogs, the same process. We'll move them over here. We'll delete these boxes here. And we'll just make this one bigger. So if I want to keep the same proportions and not lose the edges of those photos, I hold down the Shift key while I'm making it bigger or smaller. All right, so I'm happy with, I've done a few pages. Now let's make it look pretty. So this is where you can have lots of fun, and it's a baby book. We want to make this as colorful as we can. And I forgot to mention this photo on our cover is one of Kim, who's our customer service manager, and it's a lovely studio photo. So let's make it look nice. Let's start with backgrounds. There are plenty of backgrounds to choose, and in particular you might like the kids backgrounds here. There's a lot of different plain colors and also textured backgrounds there that look great. The other ones that are good for this sort of book is the pattern backgrounds. There's a heap to choose from in here. I quite like, for a cover, I think this one looks really cute. Or the coloured polka dots. You may want to change the colour of your text if you can't read it. It's a bit hard to see with that colour. Or if you want something a bit more subtle, you can even change the opacity of the background. So if it's a bit bright, actually those colours work quite nicely with that photo. If it's a bit bright, you can go into this pencil and paper at the top and you click on your background so it's highlighted, and you can change the opacity, so make those dots a bit, fade them if you want, if they're too bright for you, just so you're not losing the picture. For the cover, there's also a scrapbook which I'm going to use, and it's under the love section, and it's just these lovely hearts here. I'm just going to pop those onto the bottom of the photo. Oops, we'll just move them up a little bit so that they sit nicely there. And just very simple, but a nice cover. I'd probably change the color of that text to something that, red or something that matches that background. But there you go, you've got a nice simple cover. Let's move to pages 1 and 2. This photo on the left here is not a great photo, but it's the only newborn one I can find. It's not Kim anymore, this is one of my children. The first thing I'm going to do is auto enhance that photo. So click on the arrows at the top of the column on the right and click on auto enhance. You'll automatically see how it's brightened up that photo. Because it's quite boring, let's try and make this photo a bit more interesting. I think adding a mask will give it a bit of interest. So when you add a mask, it outlines the photo in the shape of the mask. This one might work. Let's try it. Yeah. So it's just, as I said, giving it a bit of an outline. We could do the same with this other photo here. There you go. That gives it a bit of interest. We want to add a background to it. I'm going to add this kids one that I mentioned before. Here's a nice, we could add the solar system on that page and this other solar system one there. I think that looks pretty cool. And we might just leave that page as it is. So next we'll look at some other things you can add. This one, again, so on the left-hand side, we've got 4 photos. On the right-hand side, we might actually make this photo take up the whole page just so that it's a bit different. To do that, you right-click on the photo, choose Fit to Page, and there that kind of, it's nice sometimes to have a lovely big photo on one page and some little ones on the opposite page. Again, we might choose a background. Some of these pattern ones are nice. It could be something simple like that. Or where are the other ones that I like? That one. Just, yeah, they're, very easy. Or the polka dots again, if you want to go polka dots. Or alternatively, you could just go plain background. There's some plain backgrounds here. A nice pastel-y color would look good on the page. And I'll show you, you could add some scrapbook items to this page. So if we click on scrapbooks, there's lots of different ones to choose from again. There's some great kids ones. The teddy bear, for example, is kind of cute. Oops, he's a bit big. So if I want to make him smaller, hold down my Shift key and drag one of these blue dots to make him smaller. Just pop him in there. Yeah, I'm not so keen on that, so we'll delete him. And there's another teddy bear one. This one might work better. Let's pop him there. We'll make him smaller again. Just pop him in the middle. And that looks kind of cute. We could also add some hearts. These, I quite like these hearts. There's one, this one, for example. We could put it in the top corner. It's a bit big, but let's just, there's all sorts of things like that. And if you want, you can rotate it, just moving this green button around. Pop that in there. So there's a couple of things you can do. All right, let's go to our next page and we'll show you some more different ways to enhance the page. This one, let's add a background again. We might choose a, actually there's a nice, in the elegant backgrounds, there's this heart one here. Very simple, but it looks great. And to go with that, we might want to add some frames to our photos. So if we go to frames, there's lots to choose from. Again, there's a couple of baby ones, these ones here, if you want to add. I'll tell you which one I quite like, and it's under the all category. It's one of the cute frames, and that's this one here. And you could add that to your lovely dogs that you love. And it kind of works nicely with that background as well. So that's a good one. With this photo, just to show you something different, we could add a vignette to it. And a vignette is found on the right-hand column. Click on the vignette button and it adds a vignette to the picture. You can make that blur less, more or less if you want to. And you can make it bigger or smaller. So you can have a bigger vignette, smaller vignette, whatever you want there. And it just gives some, enhances the photo. This was a first birthday photo, so I might go to my scrapbook items and add some celebration photos. Down the end here we have balloons. Let's add some balloons to the top. And you can, as I said, you can rotate them if you want. And maybe we can add some, there was a nice cake, a first birthday cake. So we can pop that here. These are a bit big for some reason. We'll just pop that there, and I might rotate a little bit. And that's that page looking nice. With the dogs, there was something else. Oh yeah, I was going to show you that you can have them talking if you want. So there is it's not under celebration. It's under scrapbooking, I think, but we'll just scroll through. There is a bubble, a speech bubble that you can add. And so you can let people talk. So let's just add this one, for example. And it's going over his face a bit, so we'll just make it smaller. And then if you add a text box, we'll add a text box and we'll pop it here where we want it. We'll just make it smaller and say, hi, my name is Thanos. And we just need to center it on the text box. You can make it bigger if you want. And dog's talking to you. So there you go, lots of little cute things you can do. And as I said, make it bright and colourful. But you can just keep it pretty simple as well. All right, so that's all we've got time for today. If you've got any questions, please send them through now and I'll go through them once I've done a quick recap. So we've talked about creating a beautiful baby book. First thing, work out how you want to categorize your photos, how you want to display them, and choose your theme and product type to suit that. Add your photos to the album, and while you're doing that, you can add some colorful backgrounds, masks, frames, scrapbook items to enhance your photos and your page. And don't forget, really important, to auto enhance your photos to get the best results. All right, let's see if we have any questions, so bear with me for one moment. Everybody's silent, so hopefully that means you understood everything, which is great. All right. Before we go, let me just tell you what I normally tell you, which is that you are welcome to call our customer service team if you need any assistance. We're here Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Melbourne time. Our phone number is 1300 553 448. Always happy to help and answer your questions. You can also reach us by email at service@albumworks.com.au, or you can talk to us via live chat from our website.